Hey, it's Paul Ardro with 12 Penny Exteriors, your local window depot. We're on location in Westford, Massachusetts. We got contacted by this homeowner. He wanted to replace his 30-year-old vinyl replacement windows that he just had enough of. Inefficient, drafty, can't open, can't close well, don't tilt in well. So he decided to change the entire look of his house. He's going to go with Marvin Windows, beautiful premium window. And he figured, hey, while we're at it, why not add an 8-foot bay window into his kitchen? Oh my God, it's so exciting. He's gonna let all this light into his kitchen. He complained about his kitchen being a little bit too dark. Now it's gonna be bright as can be. So we're really excited. And throughout this video, we're gonna show you some glimpses of what we're doing in the house. Super excited. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk soon. Homeowner has these windows. They're vinyl windows. They're celebrating their birthday in April. They'll be 30 years old in April. He contacted us because I recently wrote a blog article about how whether to repair or to replace your windows. When your windows are 30 years old, they're old vinyl windows that are really hard to open. These are really tough to open. The bottoms are really tough to even shut. I have a hard time doing it. Now I'm going to have to push it back up this way to shut them. Signs that we look for, it's hard to see, but if I look, I say that these windows are smiling at me. What that means is this meeting rail is actually starting to bow. These windows probably don't have any reinforcement in the meeting rail, so over time they start to smile. Like this one's even worse than that one, and that means they're tough to shut, they're tough to seal, they're tough to lock up, tough to keep the cold out of the house. So he decided to change all these windows. And he decided to really change the look of his house. We're not going to put vinyl back in the house. And these are not originals of the house. I think these were replaced in 1995. House was probably built in the 80s sometime. So these are actually the second windows of the house. Now we're going to go upgrade to a third type of window. And he picked a really gorgeous Marvin Elevate window. And we'll talk about that in just a second. The Elevate is a wood interior and what they call Ultrex. It's kind of like a fiberglass blend on the outside. They're really, really premium window from Marvin. So I got Brad and John here. I want to talk about this opening real quick. What was here before we got here was a couple of double hung windows right about here. And the homeowner decided he wanted to put in this big 8-foot bay. What does that entail? Well, it entails obviously making the opening bigger, but you just can't make the opening bigger. We had to do all this framing. We had to put this, what we call a header, the 2x10 double header that we had to put in. We have to size it up, make sure it's going to span the opening. We don't want any inflection in the opening at all. And then we had to create this big opening. And then before we can put the window in, we're waiting for the local inspector to come by so we can sign off on the header, make sure we did it properly, make sure the size is right. And once he signs off on that, we're going to go ahead today and get the bay window in. Remember that big opening in the kitchen? This is the bay window that's going to go in that opening. This is the casement bay. These are casement windows on each side. But the challenge we have in a window like this is that opening is about 8 to 10 feet off the ground. And this window is pretty heavy. So to avoid risking any damage to the window, which we definitely don't want to do, we're going to take this apart. We're going to take the glass out on each side, make it a little bit lighter. We've got a pump jack staging in the back so we can lift it up nice and easily into the opening, slide into the opening, get it nice and level and plumb, and then we'll put the windows back into place, make sure they open and close and lock perfectly, and then we'll finish it off. So that's kind of some of the challenges that we have to think about before we put in a window. This is a very heavy window. It's a very large window, but it's going to be gorgeous when it's all finished. And this is a Marvin casement bay. All right, we're in the same room with the bay windows just over on the other side of this plastic. And we actually added this one. There was a wall here before. And when they framed this kitchen, they had plans on putting a window here because there was already a header up above. So we didn't have to frame in the header, which is good. But there was just sheetrock and stuff here. So we opened it, made the opening, and this is the window line that they're going with. They're Marvin. They're called Elevates, and they're a really beautiful window. This happens to be a casement window. There's all painted wooden trim on the inside. We haven't had a chance yet to trim to finish it off. We have to wait, we have to wait for the inspector to come, make sure the framing is all good. But when that's complete, we'll get the sheetrock down here. We'll clean this all up. We'll put some trim on when it's all done. This kind of shows you the process that we do to put in a window. Lots of shimming, And lots of what we do is we put low expansion foam insulation. I know it's tough to see, but we flash the opening with butylene tape coming up the sides to protect any condensation, whatever, to get off the house, roll off the house. And it's all foam with the low expansion foam insulation designed specifically for windows and doors. And that's the process that we use on every window, regardless of what we call new construction or a replacement style window. These are what we call new construction. We stripped everything off on the outside and put it in like it was a new construction window. And that's a Marvin Elevate. So in another part of the house, this is the same Marvin Elevate line of window, but this is a double hung. And most of the windows in this house are going to be double hungs. A couple of sliders behind us we can talk about later. But this double hung window is, again, this is all wood on the interior, painted from the factory from Marvin. This is what we call simulated divided light. So what that means is instead of the grids being in between the glass, like a lot of homeowners get, these are actually on the glass. And they're glued onto the glass, so it makes it a little bit more challenging to clean each pane of glass, but I think it's a beautiful look. These really are smooth operating. They go up and down really smoothly. They tilt in very easily with two latches. They tilt in nice. And on the outside, I don't know if we get a picture of this. This is actually what they call the Ultrex on the outside. So it's a full wood window, and then they wrap this in their Ultrex. It's like a fiberglass blend. Very durable window, very strong window. These are very, very beautiful windows. Different class, so they're not a vinyl window. This is what we call a wood-clad window. Premium window from Marvin, and it's a really beautiful look, as you can see. We'll go around afterwards when we're all done. We'll go around and paint all the trim, fill all the nail holes. This is a window that it's about 90% finished at this point. So here's a situation where we have a pretty big opening, and the challenge is what kind of window we put in this opening. Double hungs would work, except you'd have about 3 of them, and there'd be a lot of lines. So a good compromise to the double hung is the gliding window. And this is a gliding window. This is the Ultimate Series, again from Marvin. The only difference is this is wood on the inside and aluminum on the outside as opposed to fiberglass. But these are what they call gliding windows. And these, again, for an opening like this, it's perfect. They slide open like that, lets all the breeze in, and you don't have 3 separate windows, which you would probably need in a space this large. So that's an option too. If you got a big opening, don't know what to do, the gliding window works really, really well. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video about this awesome project we're doing in Westford. If you got any questions, or if you'd like us to come out, take a look at your project, please visit us at 12painter.com. We're happy to help with any window, door, or siding project you have going on, you're thinking about. And if you like and subscribe to this channel, that'll really help other people who are also doing some research about their own project. Again, it's Paul Ardro with 12 Painting Exteriors, your local window depot. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.